see it, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 metal carry compact. I've been teasing y'all with videos saying we're going to talk about it. I finally got a chance to take my first shots today. I just want to give you my take on it. Now, as somebody who's been a lifetime Smith & Wesson fan, I had high hopes but low expectations. I haven't been impressed over the years with the triggers that Smith & Wesson has chose to use in their firearms. And I've had plenty of Smith & Wessons, going all the way back. My first weapon that I purchased was a Smith & Wesson 21 years ago. So I've been dealing with this platform because I like their reliability. I like the overall weapons, but I wasn't a fan of the triggers. But because I'm a guy triggers don't make or break the weapon to a certain extent with me, I stuck with them. Now, there are other brands that I like, as you've seen so far, but this was one that I never had to concern myself with reliability in the event that I was in a situation where I needed to use it. So today, took this thing to the outdoor range. And I'm here to tell you, not only was I impressed, I was thoroughly impressed. I don't think outside of the one complaint that I have, I think that's the only one. And that complaint is not attributed to the weapon. It's this box. I ain't gonna put it up that long because the receipt where I bought it is on there. This is the box for this weapon. That's the only complaint I got. If you're buying a Performance Center pistol from Smith & Wesson, I think there should be a hard case that comes with it. I'm not sure why they do that, because I've bought way cheaper Smith & Wessons that came with the vintage blue Smith & Wesson box case, but this one came in that box. That's the only complaint I got. Let's dive into the weapon. Just for YouTube purposes, even though I think this is a given, this weapon is clear and safe. Safe and clear. So let's get into it. Now, if some of you have been watching, you know I do have the polymer version, the compact version of this weapon. So I've shot that. I didn't do a side-by-side video yet, but I'm going to this week. First and foremost, the serrations on the slide. I don't think you can beat them. I truly don't think they could be beat. They are aggressive, but not to the point of cutting your fingers, as I've seen certain people say. This is probably one of the best looking Smith & Wesson firearms that they have ever produced. In all the years that they've been making weapons, I mean, they didn't miss anything on this one. The grip texture, I like aggressive grip texture. So, of course, this one is going to be perfect to me. And I know there are going to be people that say, oh, if you're wearing an appendix, it's going to rub on your skin. Yeah, it is. It is. Put an undershirt on, tuck that in first. Do what you got to do. I've been wearing it, appendix, with no issue. So, maybe that's just me. Maybe I got a rough stomach. Who knows? The metal is solid. It has a good weight to it. It is heavy, but not too heavy. The trigger, I mean, we've talked about it. You've seen other videos about it. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, and I'm definitely not getting ready to get into the reset game. The trigger's very responsive. It's somewhat flat. There's a clear and defined wall about right there. You break. I'll show you the reset, even though that's not my thing, just so you can see it. There it is. You're back on that wall. Listen, man. There's not much that needs to be said about this. Yeah, they say this is the recoil eliminator. I'm not going to go that far. The recoil is mitigated to a certain extent. It doesn't eliminate it. It doesn't eliminate all muzzle flip. It's going to move on you. It's 9mm, so it's not going to dance on you like it's a 45. So what it provides, I'm happy with. The way it performs, I'm happy with it. The way that it looks, I'm ecstatic about it. If you're on the fence about going to get this weapon, I'm going to tell you now you need to go get it. I'm trying that Silent Bear on there. That's probably not what's going to stay on there. I got a 507 comp that's probably going to end up on there. I got it on the polymer version right now, but it's going to end up on here. I'm happy with the Silent Bear. I didn't sight it in when I took my first shots. Everything was to the left. I tried to, adjust without adjusting anything on the optic itself, just to bring them where I wanted them. I got close. By the end of the day, I end up adjusting the optic. I got it sighted in where I wanted, and I'm good to go. So overall, the platform grossly improved over previous Smith & Wessons. This is the gun that I can say would make me consider stepping away from my Glock 45 as my EDC. And I gave you a moment of silence for a reason there. I am highly considering stepping away from my Glock 45 as my EDC. And as y'all know, I'm not a big Glock guy, but I fell in love with that 45. Me and Sig are having a breakup right now because I'm not happy about the way they're handling the P320 situation. And I'm at the point of just saying, screw them and just walking away. I'm not even getting the X macro or none of that shit. I'm getting ready to leave the brand because I'm not happy with the response from that. So that Glock may be getting retired temporarily. It's premature, I know, but from what I felt and saw today while shooting this Smith & Wesson, it's highly likely that going into this next week, this is what will be on me at all times. Now, my off-body carry, I've been carrying the polymer version of this since I bought it a few months ago. Now, while I haven't done a review, a side-by-side, head-to-head review on both of those, I'm here to tell you right now, if I had to pick between this one and the polymer one, I'd give somebody a hell of a deal on that polymer one right now. I wouldn't be upset if I didn't have it anymore. I wouldn't be upset if I didn't get to shoot it anymore. And I like it. So let's not misconstrue what I'm saying. I truly like it. I loved it until I shot this one. This is the end-all, be-all for Smith & Wesson. I don't see how they could come up with something completely different from this and compete with it. Now, I'm sure in 20 to 30 years when I won't care, they probably will. But right now, of everything that is on the market in this category, you'll be hard-pressed to get me to agree that any of them are a better shooting weapon than this. It feels great in hand. It comes out of the box with the irons pretty fucking accurate. I'm pleased with the irons that they decided to put on the weapon. They're high quality. Yeah, I can't co-witness at the moment because I don't have suppressor height sights, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I said, man, there's nothing I could say to you. Well, I could give you one more negative, and it's not negative against the weapon. To a certain extent, some of it's me because I have this problem on a lot of weapons. When I get into my groove of shooting, my thumb tends to ride on the slide catch right here. And when that happens, sometimes you don't get locked back. So when it happens, I don't get upset about it and I don't blame the weapon. I know that it's me. It happened several times today. When I link in one of the videos here, or you go look at the 1-minute video I made about me shooting this one today, you'll see it happens. Give it a shot, man. And something else, we talked about this in my last video about the CZ75. This holster right here, I don't remember where I got it from, something with LF, but I don't remember. This holster is for CZ P09 Nocturne with the TLR7X. So most of the retention in this holster is going to come from the light. So before we have to have an ignorant debate about that. With that being said, that holster fits this weapon perfectly. And that's because, well, it's holding it in because the retention comes from the light, but it actually fits that weapon. No issues, no rubbing on the slide, no rubbing on the frame, no sticking when you're coming in and out of the holster. Again, that's another holster that is not for this specific weapon, but fits it perfectly. There's not too much play in it. I mean, it's in there. If I didn't tell you that holster wasn't for this weapon, you probably wouldn't know. No need for me to keep dragging this out. Get that gun. Get that gun. And I know in my short time on YouTube, you have not heard me do a review about a weapon that I dislike. Well, I'm going to just give you a sneak peek on the next video. And it's something that I own and I have owned. And I've tried to make myself fall in love with it. And I just can't seem to do it. And I'm disappointed because I heard so many good things about it, and I spent so many of my good dollars on it, and I'm about to let it go. So the next video, you're gonna finally see me tell you something that I think is negative. It's gonna be about this HKVP9. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Keep shooting. Even if you ain't ready, you need to get ready.